I'll be right there, right with you. Hang on, hang on. Trying to get the camera set up. And I can see I didn't have it positioned quite right, so hang on. Hang in there with me, guys. Hang in there with me. I gotta make sure you can see the bottom. Also, let me move this down just a bit. There, let me know when you guys can see the bottom of the hill. I would appreciate it. Let's see, we gotta go down just a little bit more. Little bit more. I want y'all to see the bottom of that hill. It's not going to do any good if you don't see how I'm doing it. Hello, everyone. Hello, Paula. Hello, Lori. All right, almost there. We got a little more to go here. Let me back it up just a hair, see if that'll help. It's hard to line up your camera when you're not on, because what you see in the camera is not what you see when you go live. I don't know if any of you have experienced that, but I sure have. It doesn't show the same things. Just a little out of perspective. But I do want you guys to see the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and lower it just a little bit more, I think. There we go. Now I think you can see the base of the hill, I believe. Can you guys all see the base of the hill? I think I gotta lower it just a little bit more, or back it up a little bit more. Let's back it up. See if that helps. How is everyone doing this fine Friday? Paula says she can see the bottom. That's good. We're backing it up just a little bit. Now let's bring it down just a little bit more. There we go. I do believe we got it. Yes, now you can see the bottom of the hill. I can see the bottom of the hill. Yes. There you go. We got it. We got it. We got it. Now, you see this side is empty over here because we haven't got to that part yet. This side over here is the river and where the gems are going to be. Now, I told you guys in the short video I put up that I am doing a fall gem theme. And so I used my creativity and I decided that the fairies are going to be the guardians of the gems until Christmas and Thanksgiving. So right now they are guarding the gems, which will be over here next to the river on the left side of the fairy garden. And on the right side is going to be their houses and their gardens. And so it's a bit blank. I'm letting you see it blank so that you will know when I make changes. Now, it is my birthday month, and I want to thank you all who have given me a happy birthday wish. Thank you so much. I did put up the bubblegum tree, the birthday cake, the balloons, and the birthday fairy, and the unicorn birthday fairy. So, they're all sitting there. They'll be in it for the month of September. I will leave them in the fairy garden all month for the month of my birthday. Now, I'm going to move this real quick so you can see. There they are, the little birthday fairy girl, the balloons, the birthday cake, and the unicorn. And this little guy with his mushroom is the guardian of the gate that I just took down. So we are going to put that gate right back here. Now, you can permanently glue. I want to talk about glue before we get started. Hello, hello everyone. Oh no, you forgot it was my birthday. Well, thank you. Thank you, Paula. Now, this little guy is the guardian of this side of the where the houses are going to be and the gardens. And on the left side, like I said, is going to be the gem trees. Now, we're going to talk about glue before we get started. As a serious crafter, it is very important to have the right type of glues. And I know it seems excessive what I'm going to show you, but it isn't, guys. It really isn't excessive. When you are a serious crafter, different glues have different jobs to do. And when you're doing a fairy garden that you want to be able to change out and do something different, you don't want to glue everything down. Now, I try to prop my houses and my gates so that I can move them to a different place if I choose. If you glue everything down, you have to leave it exactly as it is. So let's talk about glues. When you do your fairy garden, I use clear Elmer's glue. I also use rubber glue. I have Gorilla Glue. Now, each glue, like I said, has its own job. And they really come in handy. And then I have woodworking glue and fabric glue, because each glue has a purpose and each glue will do whatever craft you are doing. And you can also get an all-purpose glue. I do have an all-purpose glue, which does everything it says. But you still want to keep the other glues on hand, guys, especially when you're building a fairy garden or a flower garden that you want to change out, or any type of craft project you want to do. Always use the correct glues and you will see your project will stick together very easily. And that's just a little tip from a longtime crafter. My daughter Tiffany does craft herself now, and she takes a lot of lessons from her mama. So you always want to have the correct glues. Now, something else I wanted to show you guys. We talked about putting the tiles right here. You remember that? Well, I got talking to my girl Angel, and she had mentioned a fence would look good too, and I got thinking about that. It took me a couple days, and I'm like, you know what? That will give it some color. Like, you can see the brown right here. The brown is the pathway. And then I built these little fences, and I'm going to show you how I built the fences and how I made them look so realistic. How many of you like those little fences? Can you see them? And you can also see the brown path stick out. Now, if you go any garden center, Walmart, garden shop, any garden center will have these, guys. And I have them here. I'm running low, so I got to go get some more. I have them in my little box, and they are called garden sticks. And you take these tiny little bitty wires. You see the little wires here? You cannot see them in the video. Look at that. So when you use the little wires, they do not show up in videos very much. And I'm not going to cut these ones because I already cut the ones for the fence. But I'm going to show you how to use these barely see their wires. See, you can't even see that, can you? It's in my hand and it's sticking out. The only way you can see it is if I move it to a certain, there you go, now you can see it. So, our first item of business today is I'm going to show you how to do the fencing. And like I said, guys, you can buy these wires and sticks at a garden center. Now, here's what you do, guys. When you, oh, by the way, I put my birthday nail polish on, guys. My fingers are made for my birthday month. Isn't that awesome? And so I got them finally done. You're going to take, now, if you're going to use it to make a big fence, like this, you will want to leave them the length they are. But if you're going to put them on a hill like I did, you want to cut it down to scale. So I cut it down in half to scale here, and then I put them together. So what you do is you take one stick, I'll put that one down, and you hold the wire in your hand like this, and you wrap it around, just like that. And you wrap it until it's completely wrapped. And remember, you won't be able to see this wire in the video. See there? You can see the stick, but you can barely see the wire. Now, you got that wrapped around that post. Now you take your other post in your hand and you hold it the length you want it. So I want my fence to be close together. So I'm going to do this. And then I wrap this one around like that. And now I have my fence posts together. See there? And that's how they end up holding up. And then, hold on guys, this one fell out. It don't normally do that. I just didn't make it tight enough. Let me make it a little tighter so I can show you guys. I'm going to make it tighter. Hang on, I'm going to wrap it tight like I normally do. Okay, take this one off. Alright, now I got it tight. And then you take your other one, you hold it where you want it, and you wrap it. Once or twice should suffice, guys. Once or twice. And there you have it. Your fence posts are now together. And you can't hardly see it in a video. So if it was sitting in your fairy garden just like this, you wouldn't, the people watching would not see the wire, just the fences. Now, when you have your third one, which I'll go ahead and show you again, I'll do the third one. Let's see, where'd I put my little box? Where'd I put you? I don't know where I put my box. I set it down. Hold on, guys. Hold on. There it is, right under my feet. Alright, I gotta show you this, guys, with one more. That way you get a good idea on how to build your fences. So now I'm working on my third fence post. So I am going to go back to the second one, hold the second one, just like that, make sure the tops are even, and I'm going to wrap again, once or twice. Now, when you get to the end of one of your wires, you just start a new wire, and then build your fence as you go. And that is how I built this fence right here. Wrapping, and you can see the fence, but you can't see the wires. Any questions on how to do that? If you come into this video after my live, please give me a like, guys. And I hope I can help you with different craft projects for your fairy garden. Now, these sticks also come in handy, guys, for other things. And I'll put these right here for now. I'll stick them at the top. We'll put the fence I did for you right here. If you have any questions, let me know. Let me get them down there even. There we go. And that's how to do a fence. That's how you make your fencing. Now, something else you can do with those, I took some beads, guys. No matter what jewelry I find, I always look for the older jewelry, the costume jewelry, because the crafter in me can see different things I can make with that jewelry. Now, these look like little mushrooms in a fairy garden, so I put them on the end of a stick, And I did not glue them because I want to use them for other decorations. So, what we can do, now I have to move your fence. We are going to make it look like we have mushrooms sticking out of the hill. And I'm going to use a green one, and I'm going to use a red one. And you have to make sure to find a place where you can stick them and not glue them. Alright, I'm going to have to put both of them over here. My hill is not thick enough over there. Okay. And I'll have to find another place for this one. I think it would go over here. Let me try to get it in here without breaking anything. Alright, there we go. We'll just stand it there for now. I'm going to have to build onto my hill, I think. So we'll just put it right here because we're going to be doing the pathways. Now, anytime you're working with stuff like this, guys, you have to always give and take. When you're putting things in your garden, you want to use, I use tweezers a lot. And the reason I use the tweezers, we'll have to think of another place for that one. But this is how you can make your little mushrooms using the sticks and a bead. And it looks like a little mushroom sticking out of your hill, which gives it color. You definitely want some color. Now, I found something that helped me. Let me see if there's any questions. Nope, no questions about the fence. Okay, so we're going to move on. I had gotten something in a, it was like a craft box kit for $1 from an auction. And I got something in that box which led me to choose fall gems for my fairy garden. And this is it right here. And you see the nest I built right here? And this is the main gem they are protecting. Isn't that gorgeous, guys? And it has magic water in it because it is a bottle, guys. It is a bottle. Look at that. So that is what prompted me to do fall gems. And they are protecting the main gem, which is a bottle of magic water. And I love saying that because I love using my creativity. And this is their magic water. Can you see the water in there? See the water? Yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. And so this magic water is what they're protecting. And I made a nest for it. And I keep it right under the tree. And we have the beautiful little fairy on her swing watching it, as well as this fairy and the unicorn watching the main gem. Now, you can find those too at any, like when you guys, if you go to, what is that, discount store or the second hand stores, look through the jewelry, guys, because this kind of stuff can be found. I go through every bit of their costume jewelry to see what I can use for my fairy gardens, for any craft project I'm going to be doing. And so you do that and you will come across a treasure that will lead you down the path to make something. So never, 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 ever give up on looking for items for crafting. Now, before we move on to our pathways, guys, I finished the trees so that now you can vote honestly. And make sure to put your votes in the live comments if you're here and the regular comments even if you are here. Make sure to put your vote in the regular comments. All right, here is the one green tree I made. And it is now a cherry blossom tree. And now you can get a better voting idea. This is the green tree with the gems on it and the cherry blossoms now. And that is the tree. And then this is the pearl tree. The pearl tree is finished. So now you have, whoa, 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 knocked my tree over. Now you have a good idea on which tree to vote for. The pearl tree or the cherry blossom tree. This is, whoa, I'm knocking things everywhere. This is your, now you gotta remember guys, when I do that, I do have MS, so please forgive me. This is why I take longer to do crafts than most people. This is your pearl tree, and I knocked a pearl off right there. And this is the cherry blossom. Now put your votes in the comments, please. Cherry blossom or pearl tree. And these will be in my fairy garden. Let me put that grass, put this pearl down with the tree. So there are the two trees you get to vote on, guys. And they will be in the garden with the gems. And I want to show you guys another gem. Oh, Lori, Tiffany likes the pearl tree. Hello, Tiffany Taylor. And Lori likes the pearl tree. Well, make sure to put them in the regular comment section, guys. When the live is over, make sure to put them in the regular comment section. And here I knocked over everything. So, but like I said, guys, please excuse me. My hands shake sometimes and they knock things over. So, please forgive me on that. Just work with me here, because it's not going to stop me from helping you guys or building things with you guys. Okay. Now, those are the two trees, and I want to show you part of my garden. And right here, this is my little froggy in the plant. He will also be in the garden. He is also a guardian of the gems, and he is sitting in his plant. And I have my little turtle sitting in his plant. So both animals are guarding the garden with the gems and sitting and hiding in their own plants. How awesome is that, guys? And I have one more tree to show you. It will be finished as soon as my leaves come in. They haven't come in yet. But this here is my gem tree. Let me get it. This is my gem tree. And here's what this is what I like. I save these. Whenever I strip the Dollar Tree flowers off of the limbs, I save it, because you never know when you're going to need it for crafting. And this is one of those times. I have rubies, I have jade, emeralds, diamonds, and opals. So I have rubies, emeralds, diamonds, and never mind. Emeralds, diamonds, pearl, and rubies. There I go. And this is my tree. Now, this is not a finished tree yet. I got to put the leaves on, and I have to put the coin down in here to make sure it holds steady and doesn't fall over. And then I decorate it with the grass, just like the other trees. And this is the gem tree, guys. And this is where I say your necklaces and vintage jewelry comes in handy, guys. They come in handy. You want to always look through the jewelry. And that is my gem tree they are protecting. Let's put it back over here. I got to make sure it's leaning so it doesn't fall over. There we go. And Tiffany, I don't know when you came in. You must have came in right when I was showing the voting, because you said pearl tree. All right, you'll have to rewatch it to know how to do the fence. Okay, guys, there is one thing I wanted to show you since I'm doing it. Now, Do you remember the little flower vase I showed you made out of seashells? I also keep seashells. I collect them because you never know when you can use them. And I wanted to give my hill some color, so I made the seashell, and it goes right there so that the hill has color. I now have my mushrooms that are also color, and my flower made out of seashells for color. And that's how you bring the color into your hill. And of course I have the little frog here and the little frog down here. So this is how you bring your color. And this right here is a water fountain to go ahead and water all the flowers. Now there will be more here by the time I'm done. Not so much as the mushrooms. You will see more mushrooms next week on here. But this is why I make the little things, so that I can put a pop of color where it need be in my fairy garden. Now listen guys, let me tell you something. There's no right or wrong way to doing a fairy garden. It's your garden. You can do and take away and put in. Do whatever you want. What makes your eye happy. It's your garden. And it doesn't have to be 100% perfect. You know, if something doesn't look right, leave it be, because you don't want to start tearing things down. I put these little brown pine cones here because originally I liked them. And then I wished I wouldn't have done it, but they're already there. So I'm going to leave them because it does give it character. So I decided to go ahead and leave them. What the heck? I can always take them out with a different direction. Right now it's fall gems. Fall gems in the fairy garden that they are protecting. Now, let me show you guys something. I'm doing my Christmas trees. I don't think I'm going to do more than 1 or 2 Christmas trees, guys. It depends on how well my hands are doing. But for right now, I at least have time. It's quite a bit of time before December, so I do have time to get at least 2 trees done. But I wanted to show you real quick how that's done, because the last time I already had it together. So today I brought these with me. These are the 6 reels rolled into one. Those are the 6 rolled into one. But this is how I started out. I cut 6 reds and I cut 6 silvers. And you can make it as thick and however you want to do it. But to get the tree started, I go ahead and wrap the wire. Now there's 2 ways you can do this, guys. You can hold on to it and wrap it this way, which gives it a loose, you see that looseness? Let me put it in front of the, yeah, see how loose? Or you can hold the end and do it this way, which gives you a tighter wrap. And I'll show you that in a minute. Now, you see the difference between the loose one? Can you guys see that? See the difference between the tight wrap and the loose wrap? Just like that. That's the loose, and that's the tight right there. So you wrap them together until you get to the end. Now, you can do it both ways because it's your tree. You want to give your tree your character. So you put all these together, and remember, you have 6 of each. So you're going to, by the time you're done, you are going to have, hold on a minute, there. You are going to have, by the time you're done getting all these done, you are going to have 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I wrapped each one of these in half and half style, half tight and half loose. And if you need me to show you again, I can do that for you next week. I'll show you how to wrap them again. But this is what you go, this is your second step to building your tree. and it looks like this. And don't worry about the ends, guys. Don't worry about the ends right here. Don't worry about those, because that's how you are going to do your roots and your top of your tree. So you don't worry about those sticking out right now, because you might have to undo it anyway to get your tree shaped up. So now you take all 6 of these. Now you won't have to do this if you want different colors, or if your wire is a thicker wire. Now I use a thin wire. It's easier on my hands. So I use a thin wire and I put 6 together. So then I do the same thing. I take 1 and I have it out and I hold my top together like that, and I begin wrapping this one around the other 5. So now I'm building the base of my tree trunk. See there? And then I get to the end and I leave it alone, because that could be my roots or the top of my tree. So I leave it just like that. So now I have 3 of these done. 3 are done, and I think I'm going to make this the top. So you look at your roots and your top, and you can have shorter ones to make the top better and make the roots have an even balance. So don't ever expect to get I just cut them off where I see, guys. I don't make them perfectly even, because that's what makes the tree look natural. So when I get 6 of these done, that's when I start to build my tree. And I'm going to just show you real quick. Now I don't think, yes, I had 3 done. So when I get 6 of these put together, I'm going to do the same wrapping technique, guys. And my trunk is going to be a very pretty big trunk. Same wrapping technique. There you go. Now, let's say I had 6 of these done. So then I start working on the top and the roots. You see how these are showing out? And so I go ahead and I wrap it again like that, just to make sure I have an even. And then I start to spread out. You start to spread out the trunk roots so that you can stand the tree up. So once you do that and you get your roots all spread out, then you begin working on your top of your tree. And you undo anything you have to undo, and you spread out your tree limbs. Just like that. And I'm not going to do it too much, guys, because this is my Christmas tree. But that's how you start to spread out your tree limbs. And then you get a tree just like this. And this is how your tree is made, and how you put them together. And then you can decorate them and make them any way you want to. And that's how you do it. And that is, and any questions on that, guys? Whoa, hey, Mr. Tree. Sitting on uneven ground there, guys. Let's put him back where he goes. All right, now, any questions on how to make a tree? Nobody asked for the directions, but don't forget, if you do want printed directions, I will be glad to give them to you. So, today we have covered, so far we've covered making of a tree and the fencing, and we talked about all the glues that you could use in your fairy garden. Every glue has a purpose. Now let's talk about these. These are the garden, you get them in your garden center, the foam. Now I like the round ones for the purpose of cutting from the hole, making a wedge, and then I can use this in a rounded corner. So let's say my fencing comes around in a corner, then I can put a tree or a flower right in the corner without it looking weird, square, whatever. It fits right into a corner. I rarely use these, but I keep them on hand just in case. So keep that in mind, guys. When you go to the garden center, get all types of foam. Get the white, get the green, get the squares, get the rectangles, you will find when you're building a fairy garden, you will use every single one you have. Or an indoor garden. Some people like indoor gardens that they can water, and so keep that in mind, everyone. And also, I wanted to talk too real quick today about wire. Now, I am using the thin wire for my trees, but you want to also think about having these on hand. I have silver and I have gold, and they make beautiful flower pots for your fairy garden, guys. You unwrap them just like you would. Now, what I like to do is take one of my miniature pots that come in my kit, and I wrap that pot. Because why buy another one when I can make my own? So what I do is I wrap the pot and make my own. And then what you do is you will file this out so it's really soft and it isn't edgy. And by the time you get done wrapping this, you have your own flower pot. And what you can do is you can fill it in with filler. I have wood putty on hand, and I can fill it in with wood putty, and it will look just like my own flower pot. So that is an easy breezy trick to not constantly buying fairy garden flower pots. You can make your own, and these are very sturdy, and they stand up really well in the fairy garden. No matter how big or small you make them, guys, they will stand up in a fairy garden, and you can have all your flowers coming out of your homemade. And I'll tell you what, if you buy wood putty, guys, oh, that will last you forever. Another thing I also keep on hand is the clay. The hardening clay that I use to build my hill, I keep that on hand because you can also put that inside here to use as a filler for your flower pots. Or you can make a flower pot out of just that, but to me, I don't get them even enough. I like wrapping them and filling in this because it looks even and it looks like a real flower pot. So keep that in mind, guys. You can also use the smaller wire too. If you want to use the wire as your guideline, you can wrap 2 or 3 times around the top of the flower pot and then bring it down and wrap around the base, and then pull your flower pot out and put the wood filler in there. Now, I like to do it while it's still on the pot, because right when it gets to that semi-hard stage, I take the pot out and it keeps the shape and will finish hardening and look really pretty when it's all done, guys. So if you need help with that, or you can't remember how I did the pots, send me an email, guys, and I'll be glad to tell you how. Now, if you guys remember, we talked about the path here, which I changed to fencing. But here are the pathway. Now, I'm using this scale so that it doesn't overpower the fairy garden, because if you guys remember, I did buy the white tile pieces, but I found out for what I want to do with my fairy garden this time, they are too big and they don't look right. So I switched to a smaller scale with designs. Now, you can pick these tiles up in any hobby store, guys, any hobby store. Mosaic tiles, any kind you want, every kind you want. You just pick out what you want. I really like these colors. So how you lay your path, and I like to use the tweezers because my hands do jerk sometimes and I don't want to knock anything over. Now, we're not going to glue them in. We're just going to set them where we want them. So you take it. Now, I did alter mine with gold and brown and silver. So I'm alternating my tile pieces to go around the base of my hill. Just like that. And you want to turn them and work with how you like them. Don't worry about anyone else. You build your path the way you want it. So right now I'm building my path around the base of my hill, so they have a path to walk on. Now remember I told you about this gate right here, which is going to go right into the housing where they live. So what I'm going to do is take a different set of tiles right here. I'm going to use the silver one because it matches the original. I'm going to lay it out here, right here, so it matches this one. And I'm going to build a beautiful golden, it's like a pink golden, see that? It's got pink in it. So I'm using that to build, and I want to make it big enough so that it comes around to the other door, the other gate right there. So I'm bringing my patterns, and let me show you the other one, guys. Here's the other one with rich gold in it. Oops, I did that wrong. This one goes up further. So this one will be the pink and gold, and it's going to go right to the gate. So I'm going to turn this one just like that, so that and the reason I don't glue them down, because I might, when I change out my fairy garden, I might want a different color. So I never glue my pathways down. And there we have it. Now I'll put one more right in front of the gate. So there you have it. There's my little pathway going to the housing gate where they live. And then I will finish this one right here around the mountain. Now I want to bring it not too far away from the hill. I keep calling it a mountain. It's not a mountain, it's a hill. I don't want to bring it too far from the hill, so I'm going to keep it as close to the hill as I can get it, just like that. Any questions so far, guys, on where to get your supplies? Paula said she likes the pebbles look. Yeah, that would look cute too. I have you sideways, so chat is off my screen. Oh, okay, honey, thank you. And she sacred emotions as she runs to her seat. All right. Yeah, a lot of people like the pebbles, but I find them really hard to clean up when I want to change out my fairy garden. I don't want to look at the same old fairy garden every day. I like to play with it, change my fairies, change my garden, change things up a bit to make it fun to work with. Always playing with my fairy garden. Now, when I had it outside, I didn't have as much fun with it because everything had to be glued down and everything just sat there. It didn't, I mean, yes, it was fun to look at, but I couldn't do anything with it because everything was glued down. All right, so there you go. Our pathway now is around the hill and over to where they live. And I have 2 extra right here to put up to the other gate. And I will get a couple more, and that one will be all silver. And that is the gate on the left side to where the gems are being kept. And you guys will get to see that when it's also finished. But right now, I'm just instructing you on different things to do with your fairy garden. And I have my birthday gumball tree up with my balloons and my birthday cake and my fairy. I'll move this so the ones that came in can see my little birthday fairy and my unicorn fairy celebrating my birthday month. So that will be in the garden all month. And then I will also get the fence up over the week, and then we will start putting the grass in and putting up the houses. And also getting the rest of my mushrooms. I showed you guys how I did my mushrooms, and it is jewelry beads on those green sticks that I made my fence out of. How awesome is that? And I will get these put on the hill to give it color. Look at how much that pops against that hill. Isn't that fun? But I don't want to put them near the pathway because that's where they go up here to get to the gem that they are really guarding, and that is our magic gem. And it holds the magic water that goes in the lake, or the river I should say, to give them their magic. So this is what they are guarding. This and all the gem trees. We have diamonds, we have rubies, we have emeralds, we have, what else do we have? Opals, we have diamonds, we have all kinds of gems that they are guarding for the fall. And if you looked closely, I even have fall colored paths. So yes, everything is about the fall. But I could not leave my birthday out of my fairy garden, so I went ahead and dedicated one little house and one little space to my bubblegum tree. And that was just like one of the flower shops was having a closeout, and they were selling those that look like gumballs. And here also is our ruby berry tree that I made. This is made out of rubies. Well, pretend rubies, guys. And it's all ready for the garden. I even have the grass on it. And so they are also guarding my ruby tree that I made. And we'll put the leaves down a little bit. Let's put the leaves down so they can show. And that is my ruby tree. And what I did is I cut off the length of the stick, put it into my foam that I told you guys about, and then I put the grass around it so that it's up a little higher than the ground, and that is what they're guarding. Same way I did with the gumball tree. That's exactly how I did the gumball tree. The girls would destroy it. Aww. She wants a tiny fairy garden. Well, I'll show you guys some different. I had this on hand to show you guys, and I will show you real quick. Let's say you have kids like my daughter. That is when you go to a hanging fairy garden, and you want to make it to where you can design it however you want. Now, these come in usually a set of 3. So you can have 3 different types of little fairy gardens of your choice, and you can hang them from the ceiling and keep the kids from getting to them. And I will show you how to decorate one of these in the future. As we continue with the fairy garden, I will show you how to decorate a hanging fairy garden, as well as you can also get a candle planter thing that hangs for candles, and you can turn that into a hanging fairy garden. And I have one of those coming, guys, because I wanted to show you before our fairy time ended. I wanted to show you how to make different kinds of hanging fairy gardens, especially if you have kids and you really want a fairy garden. And you can change them out and everything. So that way you can have your fairy garden without worrying about the kiddos tearing them up. Tiffany said, Sheila, yes, I know you do, hon. You are a good crafter. Okay, guys, let me move my ruby tree so it doesn't get ruined. All right. Let me show you guys different kind of mosses that I keep on hand. Now, I told you about the the flat moss that you can glue on the bottom of your fairy garden like this. And then the rest of mine is going to be a mixture of the reindeer moss. I told you about that. You want to have reindeer moss. And let me show you some other mosses that you can have on hand. Here we have the floral moss. Now, floral moss is for, like, if you want to do a floral garden, and for if you want real plants in your fairy garden, you want to use the floral moss, and it looks similar to this. So you can have that on hand. And here is also Spanish moss. Spanish moss can be used for bird nests or any kind of, let's say you want to make a beaver dam or something in a project you're doing. Spanish moss comes in handy, and that's what it looks like. And you want to keep that on hand. And you also want to keep decorative moss. Now, decorative moss comes in handy with the brown. See how I made my path out of the brown moss? And it looks just like a pathway that is fenced in. So you want to keep this kind of decorative moss on hand. And let's see what other kind I have. And I don't think I have another flat one on hand, guys. No, I do not. No, I can't show you this one because I don't have any more of the flat left, and I really didn't need it because I want to put the reindeer moss along with the decorative moss around the edges for the rest of the grass in my fairy garden. That way I can change it out when I so choose for the holidays. Because you might want snow. You can't put snow on this because how would you get it up? So I could put snow around it, a little bit of snow on the mountain without ever ruining my fairy garden. So keep that in mind, guys. You want to keep many, many different mosses available for whatever you're building, for whatever garden you're building. And I'll tell you what, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please do so now. Give me a big like on building my fairy garden with me. Oh no, I'm getting a phone call. My sweetheart had to go out of town, guys. Hold on a minute. Hello, I'm in my live. Are you back in town? Oh my, you be careful and I'll call you when I'm done, okay? Bye, hon. Love you. Alright, guys, he's out of town, so that's why I answered. Sorry about that. He will not be back for quite a while. He is out of town today. Tiffany, don't feel bad. I got grandkids that will destroy. You know, that's what I'm saying. If you have grandkids, which I have grandkids, but see, I'm an old school grandma, and I say no touchy. No touchy. And the girls, they listen to me. Ask Tiffany. They just listen to grandma and they don't touch it. If grandma says it's hers and not to touch, they truly don't touch it. So I don't have that problem with my grandkids. They listen very well to grandma. Yes, they do. I'm so proud of them little girls. Just like my dolls, you know, Bristol will look at me and say, Mimi, and then she'll look at my doll and I'll say, oh no, honey, that's Mimi's doll. You play with your dolls and Mimi plays with her dolls. And I tell her that it's a collection, not something to play with. And believe me, kids understand more, and I tell my daughter this all the time. They understand more than you think they do. They really do, because Bristol knows now that which are the dolls for Grammy's collection and which ones she can play with. She truly does. And now Tinny is also learning which ones she can play with and which ones are Mimi's. So they're very good about that. She looks at you and does it anyway. Yeah, you know, when Tinny first, when she was first starting to touch things, and she had to learn the hard way because she would look right at me when, this is now before she turned a year old, guys. This is before she was a year old. She would look right at me and I would tell her no touch, and she would just touch it. Very stubborn. But now she don't do that anymore. If Mimi tells her no touch, she doesn't try to touch it. And I think Bristol is really helping with that, because Bristol will not touch my dolls or anything she knows she's not allowed to. So she might be working with Tinny a little bit. All right, do you guys have any questions on anything we did today? She don't listen to me. Do you guys have any questions on what we built today? How to make your fencing, how to put your tile down for your pathways. Now keep in mind, I do not glue my pathways because I might want to change them out. Now, how many, let's take a vote. How many want to work on the housing side or the garden side next week? How many want to see, which side do you want to see me doing? Where they live or what they are protecting? And we will go by that. Go ahead and put your vote into the live comments. Do you want to see the garden or the houses? And we have one housing and one garden. Oh no. And if you miss my live today on the fairy garden, please leave your votes. We have the blossom cherry tree and the pearl tree to vote on. And now we have, what side do you want to do? The garden side or the housing side? Let me know which side do you want to see me work on next week, because we have the river and the rubies and diamonds and all the gems on the garden side, and we have all the fairies and the houses and swings and all that good stuff on the right side. So I will go ahead and count the votes. All right, we have a house, we have a we have 2 houses and 2 gardens so far. That's funny. Well, we'll have to wait and see if we get a tiebreaker. And if we get a tiebreaker, we will go ahead and work on which side the voting wins on. And don't forget to vote for your favorite tree in the regular comments once the live is over. The blossom tree or the pearl tree. And I will show you those again real quick. We have the pearl tree with, don't forget I dropped some pearls off, so it will have them on, or the cherry blossom tree. And vote on which tree that you like the best, pearl tree or the cherry blossom. And that they will also be in our beautiful coarse pearls. They have to protect the pearls. So that will, pearl tree also will be in there in the garden to protect. And I decided that he will be, this guy will be the big protector, and also this one. So they will be in the garden protecting the gems also, because they are a little bigger than the little fairy gnomes. So we're going to go ahead and use these in the middle of the fairy garden to be the bigger protectives of, and plus it says fairy garden, so I love that. So we will be using these 2 in that. Put them right back in there. And I do have the fence up also. You guys can see it. You'll see it better next week if it wins. So we will have to keep looking at the voting to see which side that we will be working on next week. That's right, guys. And we will also I will get the grass in, and I will also get the fencing around. So the fence is up for working around that, as well as the grass. And then we can go ahead and decorate whichever side. And keep in mind, guys, Garden Shop has all these little green sticks along with the real thin wires, so that you don't have to look at all the wires when you're making things. And in a video, they will not show. Look how pretty that looks, guys, with the lighting. Now, I haven't decided for the holidays. I want to take the white lights down, but I don't know if I want red or pink or blue. I don't know, guys. Would red, like if I put up red fairy lights, would that be all right for all of Christmas, or should I do white and red to make it like my white and red trees? Because I will also have beautiful silver and red trees in my Christmas fairy garden. It's going to look beautiful this year. I have found so many decorations for my Christmas fairy garden. So let me know, guys, should I use just red or red and white? It's really, I mean, I love making, I love these type of dilemmas. What color should I use? That is such a good dilemma. And this is our tree that I taught you. If you missed watching how I did the tree, then go ahead and rewind the video and watch it, and you will see how I showed you how I did my green tree and my black tree, so that you can make them any color you want to, guys. Really, any color. You can have pink trees. You can have silver and red, silver and blue, silver and gold. Ooh, silver and gold. Wouldn't that make an awesome tree? And then I just had an idea, guys. If you remember, I showed you these. Now, how awesome this would make an awesome, scary Halloween tree, would it not? And I mean, yes, it would be harder to work with. I wouldn't have to have as many strands, but you can get, instead of gold, get like black, and then use black and silver and make a gnarly, think about it. Let's try it. Let's try it real quick, guys. I want to try this. Let me get this undone. I rolled it up. But I gotta try it because I want to see something. How it would look. Alright, let's see. Okay, now, let's see. Oh my, no, that would be your branch. Would that look like an awesome branch right there, guys? See that? Can you imagine if that was sticking out and made, and then you had like dark leaves on it, and then have a hole in the middle for like an owl or a ghost? That'd be awesome, would it not? I think it would. I'm going to have to try that, guys. That would be really cool to make a... I'm going to try to get me some black. I'll have to run over to the hobby store. I want to get me some black like this and see if I can't make a gnarly Halloween tree for my fairy garden. That would be so awesome. And this really is not too shabby to work with, but making trees a little, it might be a little bit, guys, because it is very thick wire. That's why I like working with the thinner wire, because it's easier to mold and twist. But see how it gives your tree character, the trunk? That's why I do the loose and the tight, because it gives it character. And it makes it look like a real tree. And then you spread out your branches and spread out your roots. And you have a wonderful, wonderful tree. But I got to put these back together because I have... I need 4 more to go around this. So I'll take them apart, stretch them back out. See how easy that is to work. If you do have an issue, they come apart really easy, guys. and then you just stretch them back out and get ready to do it again. And you make it, there you go, see there? And this one I will keep to the side because this will be the wrapping one. And so when I get 4 more of these done, it'll be ready to make. So let's see if, I can't promise this coming Friday, but I will try to get it done before the next Friday, so that I can show you guys how to put it together. But all this crafting has caused my hand to bleed. Can you see that right here? My hand is bleeding, so I have to be really careful and take a break this week. So I might not do too much this week, other than my trees are all done. So other than the grass, I will have that done and show you how to do your riverbanks. That will be next week's lesson, how to do your riverbanks and how to cover up the base of your trees and blend them right into your fairy garden. So it looks like they're up on a little hill, not as big as this hill, but a little hill, and how to blend those. And I have another fun project we will also be working on next week. I want to thank you guys for joining me in the building of my fairy garden. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. Make sure to get your votes in. Give me a big like, guys. And I will see you next Friday in our right side living quarters or left side garden. We will see who wins that poll and which side we will be working on. Now, listen up, guys. If you haven't entered the birthday cake or the candles on the cake, get that done. The birthday cake, you have to email me. There's no right or wrong answer on the birthday cake, guys. Just how it relates to my channel. Whatever you feel it relates to my channel, write it down, turn it in. That's all you got to do. No right or wrong. And the candles, candles on the cake, pick your candle. More than one person can have the same candle. No worries there. Pick your candle and get your email in for the birthday cake. Each cake represents to my channel in some way, and that's all I'm asking is how you think it interacts with my channel. That's it. Easy breezy. 2 Cash App wins. Easy breezy, guys, starting off the birthday month. Until then, guys, I'll see you in another video.